I feel like there is so much to discuss after the How to Get Away with Murder Season 4 finale, but we need to start with this new guy who appeared at the end of the episode, Gabriel, his beautiful self. Honestly, is he not the most beautiful person on this show? I think he has taken that title. He's stunningly beautiful. But anyway, I'm pretty sure he's going to be a sinister villain, but we'll get to that in a second. So there was so much debate as soon as the show ended because I was all over Twitter. I was reading everyone's responses and people were like, oh my god, whose son is that? And there were a lot of people saying it was Annalise's kid and a lot of people saying it was Bonnie's kid. But I'm here to tell you I'm 110% sure it is Bonnie's kid. First of all, they basically gave that away in the scene right before the unveiling of Gabriel. And that was when Nate was looking through the files that he told Annalise he destroyed. Or maybe he told Bonnie. But anyway, he kept all of those files and he was looking through Bonnie's file and we see a younger picture of Bonnie, some information about DNA matching, and also some information about still alive. So if you remember from earlier in this show, we were told that Bonnie conceived a child through rape, and from what I remember, this child was put through the foster care system, but maybe there was some debate that this child was no longer alive. I always felt like we would come back to this person and that this person would become a character on How to Get Away with Murder, and now it is that moment. But for those of you who are still debating that it's Annalise's son, I want to talk about that side of the argument. So here's the thing, when Annalise lost her baby, we've seen through flashbacks, she actually held the body of her dead son. They actually took a photo of her with her dead son. So really the only way this could play out that this is her son is that if someone gave her someone else's dead baby, which actually bothers me to say out loud because that is beyond sick. And I know there's some sick and twisted people on the show, but come on now. Or if she had never been, never had seen the body, and, I can more likely believe if we never saw the body, she never saw the body, that the baby did live and she was told it died. But, they can't make us think that she was holding a doll and didn't realize it, or that she was holding a dead kid who was hers, but it miraculously came back to life after they carted it off. So I find that totally unbelievable. And when you think about Bonnie and it being her son, it totally adds up because I feel like she's probably around 40 on the show, which means she probably had him around 20, which would make him old enough to be this age, to be a freshman in college. But here's the deal. So why is he showing up now, and why does Frank know about him? Is he kind of in cahoots with Nate? Is Nate telling him this info from the file? Obviously, Frank was there to spy on him. I'm very concerned because Gabriel has come to the town where his mother lives and is enrolling in the same law school where Annalise taught. I feel like those motives are not pure because if he was coming to the town because he knew his mom existed and he wanted to reunite with his mom, I think he would have placed a phone call before just enrolling in the school. Maybe this happened and they never showed that happening. But I'm feeling like he's here to cause drama, and perhaps he's connected to some of the other sinister people that we have seen throughout the show, maybe Laurel's parents, maybe the Mahoney's, but I think he's going to be up to no good. Now, we have seen from his interaction with the woman working at the college that he is super suave, and I think this is really going to help him be a very effective villain because he's so good looking, he's got a great personality, and I think he will gain the trust of people very easily, therefore he can manipulate them easily, so you gotta love a good-looking villain. They're gonna get farther in life than an ugly one. I mean, hello, that is just life. So let's move on to Laurel and Laurel's mom. So I also 110% believe that Laurel killed her mom. I mean, I felt very strongly about this through the whole episode, especially even in the episode before the finale where she threatened to strangle her with her bare hands. And I was literally cheering for this. I wanted to see that. But I feel very strongly that she did kill her, whether it was strangulation or who knows what, because at the end of this episode you see the scratches on her arm. So I'm really excited that we finally make it to the point where we're exploring Laurel's dark side and sadly her mental issues. It's been hinted at so much throughout the years, and I know a lot of people have been hoping for this, and me too, absolutely, because I think if she killed her mom that we could also have her doing other things or have done other criminal things in the past. There's a lot of ways to look at this as well. Is she consciously doing these acts, or is she the kind of person who switches over to another personality or something, perhaps forgets that she's done criminal things? I'm not really sure. But I could definitely see her being conscious of her acts, and I do believe that her dad was desperate to know what happened to his ex-wife, and I also believe strongly that he believes that she killed her mom. Can't wait to find that out in season 5. I'm so happy that Jorge is now behind bars. I've really been disinterested in the storyline with Laurel's family for some time now, and I'm glad he's behind bars, and I hope we move away from his storyline. However, with the mystery of the missing mom, I think Laurel's family will still be in the forefront of season 5. I want to talk about Bonnie and her new love interest. If you have watched Nip Tuck in the past, then you will recognize him as one of the, I guess, probably teen characters on the show, but he was in all of the seasons. He was a part of one of the big families on there. One of the plastic surgeon's sons. There we go. But that show has been off the air for a really long time, so he's grown up now. Strangely enough, the dude looks exactly like I remember him looking on Nip Tuck, so I don't know, maybe he's really 75 and he just never ages. I have no idea. But for some reason, just looking at him, I get a villain vibe. And I think, sadly, he is playing Bonnie. And I also think he could be involved in Denver's death because I think he saw that as an opportunity to move up and possibly move into that role at his job, if that is possible, or just to become a stronger figure in the office there. And I think he knows that Bonnie is wicked smart, and I think he would like to use her for her intelligence and for her knowledge of shady things. And I think that he's going to pose a problem for her because she will fall in love with him possibly and tell him too much. And then I think it's going to be a really rough season for Bonnie with the revelation of her son she probably didn't know was still out there, and this new love interest. I think a lot of craziness is going to happen. I'm still really confused about Christopher and how that storyline is going to advance. I'm still super shocked that we have a baby involved in all this drama with these killers and criminals. And I just think if Laurel is dark and goes down the darker road this season, next season, that I'm wondering if Annalise would eventually be able to adopt him, because I do think Annalise is trying to turn her life around, but I just don't see how this poor sweet little baby fits into this crazy lifestyle of these crazy people. And now, maybe you were waiting for it, because I know a lot of people in the comments have been hot about Michaela, but we need to discuss Michaela. And you know, I've always said I appreciate everyone's opinion, so if you disagree with what I'm going to say about her, because I've had a lot of people disagree with my opinions of her lately, I have no problem with that. Go ahead and comment, but I may not agree with you. You know, she cheated on Asher, and to me that was wrong, and obviously a lot of people on this show have cheated on other people, and I think they're all equally bad. But what she did in this episode to me was far worse than cheating on someone. I just found it so low and so despicable that she basically sentenced poor Simon to death. Now, I never have been a fan of Simon, but when you look at this, if you step back and look at Simon from a analytical point of view, he's not a criminal. And yes, he tried to frame Annalise, he put up all those posters and everything, but remember, Annalise is a criminal. The Keating Four are criminals, and some of those people are murderers. Not Annalise, but some of those Keating Four are murderers. So I think he was just trying to be a whistleblower and tell people, like, this woman is not this amazing professor, she's a freaking, you know, psycho who's encouraging people to do criminal acts, you know? So did I love his personality? Did I love his snarkiness? No, but at the same time, what has he done? Maybe he's done something I've forgotten, but why is he a criminal? Why should we hate him, you know? Again, I'm not Team Simon, but anyway, so they basically almost killed him, which pretty much freaking sucked, but somehow he miraculously survived, and now Michaela has, you know, sealed his life. He's going to be deported back to Pakistan, where because of his sexual preference, he will be probably killed, if not tortured forever there. So I really thought she was going to kill him in the hospital. I really, really, really did. She was looking at him with an evil stare, and she might as well have, because think of the torture he's going to have to endure now, and I think that is scary, shady, and low. Now, I also think it's definitely like something that Annalise would have done in the past, but now new reformed Annalise was very shocked to hear that she did that, because she already had a plan for Simon that would have helped him out without having him be deported or out, you know, would not end his life, and it was really sad that Michaela went ahead and did that. Now, after saying all of that, do I think Michaela is the worst person on this show, the worst moral person? No, absolutely not. At different times throughout the show, there have been people doing very, very despicable things, and it's really hard to judge and say this act was worse than this act, or this person is worse than this person. But I'm speaking of what she has done, and her specifically, because it just happened in the finale. So I just wanted to say that for anyone who's really a big Michaela fan. I've never had a problem with her, honestly. I think she's beautiful and I like her. But I think we are going to see a new Michaela, and it's not going to be a Michaela that's very likable. And I think she's got a lot of guilt from what she did to Asher. I think, you know, maybe that'll play into it, but I also think she's like wants to be old school Annalise, and maybe will have that life one day, but that comes with at such a cost. Look at what Annalise's personal life has been like because of the road she chose as a younger person, and I think that it will destroy Michaela as a person and destroy her soul if she keeps going down this route, and that's just my opinion. So really, I mean, I feel like it was a pretty good finale because there's so much to talk about. I almost forgot to talk about this though. I know a lot of people were hoping to hear about Wes, to hear some new revelation about him, to hear that he's still alive, and that didn't happen. Now, I was not expecting that to happen. I firmly believe that we had cleared everything up in the episode before. That's not how I wanted things to play out, but it just seems like they want to move past that. They said that basically we know Dominic killed him and Laurel's parents conspired to have him killed. Will they ever revisit this? I really don't think so. Am I opposed to it? No, not unless, you know, if there's a dramatic something that happened involving Wes's death, like Laurel was involved or somebody that we love and trust was involved, I'm cool with it. But if we're just going to drag it up to talk about how evil Laurel's parents are or stuff like that, I don't see what the point is. I still feel like it was a major mistake to kill Wes off with no real motive. Nothing good has come out of it. I don't understand. The only thing I can understand from it is that they wanted to go big and kill off a main character, but they have no reasoning behind it, so it just made it look like a weak choice on behalf of the show. But I know how big of a mistake it is because every time they aired an episode, you know, in this last season, people were flooding social media, like asking about Wes's death, and they want more, and they are convinced that more is out there and that we will find out more, and I'm all for it if it happens, but I also very much doubt that it will happen. So if you are new here, I'm always covering How to Get Away with Murder, so when season 5 rolls around, I'll be here doing new videos, so please subscribe or stay subscribed if you just are here for How to Get Away with Murder, because I've unsubscribed to people before and then like I regretted it because I forgot that they were doing stuff I cared about, and then like I'll see it on my homepage and I'm like, wait, I actually still like them. So I'm just saying, like, I know some people tend to unsubscribe because they're like, well, the show is over for this season, I'll find her again. And sometimes it's not that easy to find them until they've already done like a billion videos on season 5, and then you're like, wait, what? But anyway, so I really enjoy talking to you guys about the show, and overall I'm okay with the finale. I thought it was pretty good because there's like so many things that are intriguing to me to keep watching and to tune in for season 5. So I do have high hopes for that. Thank you guys so much for being with me throughout this season, and for those of you who've been with me since I first started covering this show, thank you so much. I truly appreciate it, and I will see you guys soon. My next show that I'll be covering is Westworld Season 2. If you haven't watched it, it is on the HBO Go app. You've only missed one season, so I highly recommend it. It's very good with some very wonderful actors in it. So if you want to be able to still watch my videos and be knowing what I'm talking about, that is the next thing I'm covering. If Scream on MTV ever comes back, I will also be covering that. But I'm also awaiting a lot of other shows. If I've covered a show before, I will be covering it again in the 2nd or 3rd season or whatever it is. But I'm just waiting for a lot of things to come back. Anyway, thank you so much, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, guys. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Kelly TV. I would love for you to subscribe and be a part of the Kelly TV family. Also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter so you can keep up with all I'm doing.